Alright, coming to you live from Treasure Island, where everything is wrapped up, ready to be picked up, just like it was when they were dropped off. Each section has its own sizes. So this one is like 24 inches wide by 36 inches long. And these ones similarly, different size. And you have all of your anchors, braces. All of these are filled. Here's how heavy they are. Oh yeah, that's easily 50-60 pounds per bucket of those little pins that we talked about the other day. You've got your 2x4s, all the columns that's strapped to the sides of each one of these. Again, you can see where each one of those pins would go in, and then you have your second pin. So just imagine having to put each one of those in and take each one of them out and then collect them all at the end. And each one of these gets nailed to one of those with 2 nails, 3, 4 sometimes, and then nailed down to the concrete. And each one of those nails has to be brought up, as you see there. Like I said, lots and lots of work. And one of the coolest parts, like I mentioned, are these guys here, which keep the spacing between the rebar consistent, keep the spacing even at the top up here, so that they're not, there's no rebar showing in the concrete. So they keep all the rebar evenly spaced between each other, as well as between outside and inside of the concrete. If it wasn't for this, it would actually be these. This is the old school version of those plastic ones, which they actually have to cut to size. So it's either those or those. Me all day, those plastic ones are worth the little extra that they cost compared to the metal ones. A lot less cutting involved, much easier. You just place them on in 4 or 6 places, I think. Yeah, 4 places, and I think 5 or 6 down, depending on the height of the columns. Each column has a different width. You can see how wide that one is. Much wider than it is narrow. This one is a little bit less width, but the same narrowness. This one's kind of interesting because it actually cuts inward, and it all depends on the load capacity that's going to be on top of it. So by next week, we'll start working on the tie beams, which actually will go in between each one of the tops of all of these columns and tie into all that rebar. And that is going to create essentially your floor, the form for the floor. At which point, planks and pieces will go across there to again balance the load on top of all of your columns. This is kind of interesting. So all that block that you see sitting up front up there is what's going to be used for these columns. Anything that doesn't have the concrete on the rebar right now, those are all going to be frangible block columns. Just like you see over at this house, they're all going to be frangible block, meaning that this thing ain't going anywhere in a storm. It's not getting blown down, it's not getting the flood taking it away, but we have to build in those frangible, means breakaway walls, so that if a flood does come, you don't have all the stress being taken by all of these. Some of that water can get stopped by those frangible walls and actually break apart the cinder block so that the water can keep passing through, because face it, water is super strong when it's flowing. So it's carved canyons. One little thing at a time, one step at a time, one nail at a time. I think that's my favorite part of this entire process of construction in general, is that it's a bunch of little tiny steps before you get a completed home, like the one next door. So Mother Nature can huff and puff. So Mother Nature can huff and puff as much as she wants, and she's not going to blow this house down. It'll be here for years to come. Oh, and if you want to see something, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's very similar in design to what this house will look like. Check it out. See this house right over there? It's not the exact same blueprint, but it's going to be a good reference point for how this one's going to look. Same style roof, same style living space up top, and underneath is all storage and garage, along with frangible walls. So it'll be pretty exciting to see this thing come together over the next 2-3 months. I'm guessing it'll probably take about 6 months until it's actually fully decked out with all the appliances, furnishings, everything else. But one step at a time, it's going to come together. Not as glorious part of my job, to be honest, is make things get taken care of that need taken care of. The trash isn't just left around, so I'm going to be cleaning some of this stuff up today, making sure that the porta potties are nice and clean for the guys and serviced. And gates are closed by the end of the day. So we don't want general public getting in there and getting hurt. Making sure that all the right documents are in the box that need to be in there, especially when the inspectors come by. Putting up obvious signs for the public, because the public's not always super smart. When guys run into our hose spigots that end up breaking, figure out those little incidents so that the job can keep rolling along, because the guys are going to need water, and right now that's shut off because otherwise it's just spewing out water. Also making videos like this to report to the owners so that they know what's going on their job site as best as possible. Sometimes they have cameras like it's on there or on the dock out there. Sometimes they don't. So that's where I come in to kind of fill in that gap and help the client or the owner and the contractor mesh well so that everybody's in the loop. So my job is just all about the details. So yeah. That's really it for the moment. Thanks for watching as always. Later.